I think it'd be really cool to be able to be like a crazy proficient juggler. Like you could juggle a bowling ball, a chainsaw, and an apple. Like something like that would be really cool.
He's eating cheese and juggling chainsaws. Something is going on with him.
What is up, everybody? And welcome back to the Schooling Struggle Podcast. It is our belief that the only guarantee in life is that we are all going to struggle. And how we choose to embrace our struggles is what empowers us to become the best versions of ourselves. I am Pete, coming to you from Heartland, Vermont, and with me is my friend and co-host Todd, coming to you from Tacoma, Washington, all the way across the country, 3 hours behind me. What's up, Todd?
What's happening, Peter?
Man.
We're like almost complete opposites of the country.
Yeah, about as far as it can go.
Almost. What's further? What do you got? Maine?
Probably by road. If I lived a little bit further north, we'd have to go down under the lakes, or maybe just take it right over the lakes through Canada. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, well, maybe one of us needs to move to Hawaii or Alaska.
Maybe. Don't tempt me. What's happening?
So tonight we are doing a answering of listener questions. This is a little bit different. We've done a number of 5x5 episodes. Those are 5 questions that I come up with that are kind of percolating in my life or in my mind. And then each semester that I teach, and I teach 2 semesters a school year, we do Ask Me Anything with Mr. D, and I pull questions from there twice a year for the podcast. And this is different. This is our family of listeners who are actively listening to all of our episodes, or at least most of our episodes.
At least some
have reached out to me in many different formats. Some know me personally. Some have reached out via internet. All different things to just ask our thoughts and opinions and perspectives on a wide array of questions. So these questions vary in length and in depth. And I thought what we do tonight is just go through them, and keeping our 35, 40-ish minute time frame that we normally do for an episode, we'll just give our responses to these questions. So feel free to go as deep as you want and take it as far as you want conversationally, Todd, or we can just, quick answer and move on to the next one, whatever you desire, whatever you feel the listeners deserve from what your thoughts and perspectives are regarding these questions.
All right.
Cool. Any questions before we start?
No.
All right. Let's rock and roll.
Let's go. Actually, I do have a question. Are we going to switch off, or are we just going to just go for it?
So a little background on what's happened today. I texted Todd this morning, probably long before he got up, because it was pretty early. It was like 5 o'clock my time. And I just said, hey, this is the plan for tonight's show. I'm just going to feed questions to this text thread all day long, as I've kind of compiled them from different places in my life. You can read them or not. And this will be our list of questions for tonight. So I've been filling Todd's phone up with texts full of these questions as we go. So Todd has them in front of him, but if I had to bet an amount of money that mattered, I'd say you haven't read through them yet.
I did. I read through them. What? Actually, what's funny is it's timestamped today at 4:26 a.m. and I have a hard what do you call it? A rule, I guess you could say, guideline. Let's put it that way, where anybody can text me whenever they want, but I choose when I look at it. So
yes,
like some people are like, no, you don't even text me after 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. Whatever. And I'm like, whatever. But this morning when I woke up, sure enough, I look and I'm like, wow, this isn't typical Peter banter. Like there's paragraphs and there's multiple bubbles. I'm like, wow, and I didn't even get a word in edgewise. So I feel like maybe you've figured it out, and you could just blast me at 4:30 in the morning. I'm never going to get to it.
You know what they say? The best defense is a great offense.
There it is.
So here I come,
man.
Bring it on. All right. First question is, what is one or more objective or measurable goals that you are currently working on in your life?
Well, I'm going to school, so that's what I'm working on. It's called Eden Aerosmith School. They more or less gave me a scholarship to go there for the last 2 quarters, I guess. And at the split of the last quarter, which was 2 weeks ago, they said the module I was taking is now going to become self-sufficient, so go at your own pace online, right? And it had been every day at 10 a.m. And now I've noticed these little things are creeping up. Like I have an external 10 key number pad that's required to do it. And it started acting up. And I'm like, why doesn't this work? So now I'm like, And I find my mind coming up with all these crazy ideas or like excuses. Like I can't do it today because, that thing broke and there's no one on the way. Or, this or that, the other thing. So it's a measurable goal because I'm going to finish it, but it's I'm finding that it's having little hooks, little things that are
Mm.
trying to catch me. But the other side's great. So
What's the content of the classes that you're taking or the coursework that you're doing?
it's an interesting. It's not like anything I've ever heard of before, and I've talked to a couple people, and it's not like anything they've ever heard of. So it's like cognitive education that helps to sharpen the maybe areas of inefficiencies. So you go through and you do an assessment, and then they run it through this algorithm, and other people take a look at it, and then they say, here are the areas of focus that we see that you're deficient in, or you could do better in, and then they give you different modules to address those different things. And so I mean, that's the easiest way I can.
Is it designed to enhance the function of your brain?
Yeah, for sure. I have a hard time in school because a lot of the curriculum wasn't something that I thought was going to map to anything beneficial. So it was like, oh, here, take algebra. I'm like, I'm never going to use this. Like, why would I need that? And then I would quickly lose interest. So I found myself re-experiencing the same feelings over and over. This like anxiety that comes with it, and just like this pressure to, to perform. But I knew in my mind, I'm like, I don't get all these things. So I try to, kind of throw it together in a haphazard way that doesn't really make any sense or help me grow. And this, when I started doing it, I was like, I don't know if this is really going to work. And then I realized that the underlying intent, and I think the curriculum speaks to that, is if you do this one thing and you get really sharp at this, you'll begin to see it in other places of your life. It'll begin to show up. Not like you'd get at a regular school that I've ever been to anyway. So.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me, it's like you're learning Jedi mind tricks of the brain to function differently than you have in the past.
Yep. There you go. Wow. Look at you. You should take the test.
Measurable goals for me, I have a number of them. When I hear that term, the first thing that comes to my mind is of the physical. Mm-hmm. So I have a couple that are kind of always in play. I always want to finish in the top 5% in the world in the CrossFit competition that I do each year. I believe there's 15,000 people in my division. I have a couple strength goals that are very measurable because of plethora of injuries and me just being weak. I've never been able to all in the same day. Shoulder press 1 plate, bench press 2 plates, back squat 3 plates, deadlift 4 plates. So that's something I'm working towards. So
plates being 45 pounds a piece.
Yeah. So shoulder press 135, bench press 225, squat 315, deadlift 405. So I'm knocking on the door of that just because of the strength stuff.
Nice.
But to be able to do that all while maintaining the ability to, do 30 pull-ups, 21 minute 5K, those types of things. So that's one of them. And then the other one, and I know that financial talk is kind of faux pas in our world, but not for me. So I'm happy to have that conversation. And one of my measurable goals is to have a net worth of $1 million.
Very good.
Not there yet, but I'm confident with the plan, the savings plan, the investment plan that I'm on. I'll get there.
Is that liquid and physical assets?
Physical would be the first one. And then once that one's achieved, then liquid.
No, I mean like your house, like investments, and then money on top of that.
Yeah. So the first goal would just be total net worth, everything, $1 million. And then the second one would be
nice work.
Yeah. Liquid money that I can access without having to move out of my home.
A little interesting in this day and time of this market fluctuations.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
All right. Yeah. What is one way that you find yourself wasting time? If you, and this listener said, if YouTube is the answer, what is a random rabbit hole that you found yourself down recently?
I see. You go ahead.
So the listener hit it right in the head. YouTube is the way that I waste time. And I would say the rabbit hole that I've found myself most interested in, I can't believe that the algorithm of YouTube got me there, is this thing called death diving. And death diving is when people jump off really high places and do these like crazy tricks in the air and then land feet first in the water. And these people do all sorts of, there's death diving. It seems like the subculture is much bigger in Europe than it is here, but fun YouTube videos. And then sometimes I'll get sucked down chiropractic videos and just watching people get their neck and back cracked. So,
wow.
I was talking to one of my students today, and he's told me that he gets addicted to watching videos of people eating, just like people post random videos of themselves eating, and he just can't not watch it.
Wow. Like, I'm just going to attack this.
Like, Mr. D, all he does is watch these people eat. I was trying to get to the bottom of it. I was like, is it attractive people are eating, or is it food that you like? He's like, nope, all sorts of people eating all sorts of food. I just love watching people eating.
Wow.
I thought that was crazy. What about you?
That's interesting. I don't typically waste much time. I found myself, I don't know, like maybe a year ago, I found that I was spending way too much time on Facebook for some odd reason. And so I deleted the app, and I just did that again maybe a month ago. But while I've been looking for different job opportunities and networking in that way, I found myself getting sucked into LinkedIn in a very similar way because people have just overloaded it. And now it's like, oh, the way I get my news is by proxy through LinkedIn. So it's like, oh, there's stuff going on in Israel. I'm like, what's going on over here? And then it just becomes a cascade. So I have enough awareness to know that it happens. And so I just either put it away or I'll just install it completely, and then I won't have to deal with it. But I never got stuck in the YouTube YouTube holes. I go
I'm
there
not
for
even gonna
like,
lie.
how
Like,
do
it's
I?
so enjoyable. Like,
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
especially if I know I'm going to go down for the next hour. Like, oh,
Really,
it's
like
so,
you plan it. You plan it. Like I got an hour to go.
yeah. If I have an hour to like, and I'm like have guilt free, like just absolute waste time. Like, I'm
Wow.
not going to move myself forward in any productive manner. It always starts out with fitness videos, and then it just leads to different things. Always.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The stuff that people are doing off big jumps in BMX right now is crazy too. I love
Really?
watching BMX videos, and
Wow.
there's some really amazing videos of mountain bikers that wear helmet cams that are just flying down the sides of these mountains. It's
Oh, I've seen a couple of like
it's so
the Red Bull ones that are like
crazy.
sketch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's so crazy.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen some of those. Anyways, that's good. That's good.
All right, here we go. Next question. Sometimes I catch myself complaining to others. I don't want to be the guy that people purposely avoid spending time with because I complain. How should I stop complaining? I have an answer for this one.
Okay. Surprise.
So first you need to be bold enough to tell the people around you, especially the people that you spend the most time with, that this is something you're working on, and ask them to call you out on it.
Oh yeah, that'll
So
work.
they have to know that. And then the next piece is you're going to take a rubber band and you're going to put it on your wrist. And every time you find yourself complaining or someone else calls you out on complaining, you snap the rubber band on your wrist.
Have you had that
And
work?
that just creates an awareness.
Have you had that work? I tried that with swearing. It didn't work. The rubber band broke.
When it comes to complaining, all complaining does is bring attention to the negative in our world.
Yeah.
And as we've talked about in past shows, we are hardwired in our DNA to seek the negative because when we were camping on the savannah many centuries ago, that negative mindset kept us alive.
Yeah.
Like I said in the past, you hear that twig break behind you, that could be the saber-toothed tiger you need to
Look
escape from. So we are hyper aware of the negative, right? We always humans connect over negativity about complaining about the weather and these things. But right now, the saber-toothed tiger isn't the threat anymore, but we still are hardwired to focus on the negative, and the negative, in my opinion, doesn't move me forward. And if I'm not moving forward, I'm not living a fulfilled life.
Yep.
So complaining moves me backward.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love my students. I love my family, but I'm very stern in telling them that I don't have a lot of patience for complaining.
Yeah.
And then I talk about why. So I think that this person even recognized that they're a complainer is awesome. And then they're trying to figure out strategies to kind of break the habit, because it really is a habit. And then how can you break that? And it's creating awareness. And how can you create that awareness is have people call you out on it, and then have a physical reminder through the rubber band that, yep, you're complaining.
That's funny. Yeah. It's for me, it's along the same lines. And yes, and I agree with almost everything you said. The problem that I have is very hard to see it when you're doing it yourself. And in my mind, it goes back to you only hurt the ones you love. Like I constantly complain about things around my wife and my family that they're doing. It's like, and then I see myself doing it. I'm like, what? Like, what am I? Why would you keep saying that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, like you said, to have that awareness of like, why is this happening, or having an awareness of, like around these groups of people. For some reason, I can't see that of myself. I think that that's a very important thing. But typically what I do is I ask myself, is what's spilling out of my mouth even helping anything? Right. So along the lines of like, okay, and you're going to complain about that endlessly for what? Like, and then what? And then that's most of the time gets me out of it. But yeah, I find I get myself into these weird moods, and I don't think it's just me, but I think it happens to everybody. And then it takes a couple of days to pull out of it. And meanwhile, either I will just constantly complain about whatever it is that's irritating me, or you just go back to the previous episode about putting that thing down, because it's very difficult sometimes for me. Either that, or I'll just be quiet altogether, and then everybody's like, "Oh, something's going on with him. Like, you haven't talked to me in a couple of days." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry." Like, I'm shortening it out of my head. So
Silent
I don't know
treatment,
if it's
Todd.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not purposeful. It's not like
right.
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, would you rather be complaining, or would you rather just be quiet? So it's, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's one of those conundrums in my life, but alas. there it is.
Huh.
So if I don't talk to you for a couple of days, just know, quit texting me at 4:00 in the morning with your ramblings.
All right. Next question. What is one simple dieting rule that I can use to eat better?
Go.
Treat sugar as the devil. Treat added sugar as the devil and treat water as your best friend. Avoid added sugar at all costs and consume as much water as you can.
Yeah, that's a pretty good rule.
That's mine.
Yeah.
And then the only liquid that goes into your body is water. And I know that's easy for me to say as a non-coffee drinker. So I guess I would asterisk that and say if you are a habitual coffee drinker and there is no way for you to get through the day without hot coffee, then I'd take coffee and water, but nothing else.
Yeah. Well,
those little additives to your coffee as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm a coffee drinker, so thank you for clarifying that. I would say those again. I am a huge proponent for drink as much water as you possibly can. I know that there is a limit, like you can drink too much water, but most people don't even drink enough water for a sedentary individual. So I would say just keep on chugging. And the other thing is, if you are able or willing, find a way to track what you eat and know what goes in, because it's sometimes it's very sobering for people to think, oh, I went to Chipotle and I ate great, and you ate 2,000 calories right there, and then they're like, why do I feel so sluggish for hours? So I think it's a useful tool to watch what you're eating, to list it up.
Pretty early on in our podcast journey, we had Camden on, who lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. And he was saying that one of his biggest surprises was how many calories are in salad dressing. I just remember him saying that.
Yep.
It's little stuff like that. Like, oh, you think you're eating the salad, but you're getting as many calories as a burger.
Yeah, but there's fried chicken on that salad. That's not very helpful. So, but that's one.
Cool.
What's up next?
What is better, 6 consistent hours of great sleep every night or 8 consistent hours of mid to crappy sleep every night?
I think there's a lot of gray area here. It depends on what you believe consistent sleep is. So there's multiple phases to sleep, and how you're having an awareness into what pieces of sleep you're hitting, and for the duration that makes it kind of consistent or crappy, either way, however you look at it. I tend to say, I don't know if there's a great answer on that. I can't give you a 6 or 8, but I think typically the longer you sleep, the better chance you have of getting through all 3 of those phases. So I would say probably the longer.
So what I'm hearing Todd refer to as the 3 phases, technically there's 4, but one of them is awake. So I don't know why that's considered one of the phases. But anyway, there's awake, there's light sleep, there's REM, which is rapid eye movement, and there's deep sleep. And from my understanding is the quality of the sleep, or the sleep efficiency, matters greatly. And also when you say consistency, is consistency as in going to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time, because that is one of the best things we can do. So from what I learned is, if you're getting over an hour in that REM and over an hour in that deep sleep, the whole point of sleep is for your body to recover.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're getting more efficient recovery in that 6 hours than you are in that 8 hours, then that 6 hours is better. And this actually spawned from a conversation I was having with someone in their mid-20s who lives and works in New York City and works like 10 hours a day and commutes like an hour each way.
I'm sorry.
And just spending so much time at this stage in their life working that they're not really getting 8 hours of sleep. But as soon as they lay down, they're out cold. And then their sleep tracker says that they're getting crazy efficiency sleep, and that they're very, very recharged each day. So from what I understand, if you go to bed at the same time, you get up at the same time, and you're getting high quality, deep recovery sleep, that 6 hours would be more beneficial than a crappy 8 hours. But it generally is, how are you getting more recovery? So the analogy that I use in my high schoolers is cell phone, right? So if I plug my cell phone in for 6 hours, is it going to get a better charge than if I plug it and unplug it and plug it and unplug it for 8 hours? The answer, however the battery's more charged at the end of that time, is the answer. But I think it's how much time you spend in those deep zones that you were talking about.
That's interesting, because there's so much. I was looking at heart rate variance today, because it's one of the ways that I wear a Garmin device, and it tracks your stress throughout the day. And I was doing these meditations on there, and it's like, oh, you got -5 on your stress. And I was like, what does that mean? And so not only is it sleep and the three or 4 cycles, however you want to look at it, as sleep, but then there's also other factors that come in, like, heart rate variance measures the time between your heartbeats. And if you're stressed, they figure, your heart's like, tick, tick, tick. And if you're in a more calm state, then there's further between. So it takes a number of different variables, right, to really tell you how well you're resting. And so, yeah, it is interesting. We've talked about sleep before, but yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, everybody's body is so vastly different.
Yeah.
There is no study that can control all the variables to give us objective measures
Yeah.
of this
Or else
stuff.
you'd have people who
So
sleep perfectly.
there are people who are 110 years old that have smoked cigarettes since they were 18.
Yeah.
Like some stuff impacts the body differently than others, and everybody's body's different.
Let me ask you this. If there was a YouTube channel about perfect sleeping, would you watch somebody sleep perfectly for 8 hours?
If I could benefit from it, yes. Absolutely.
Good one. What are you doing? Well, for the next 8 hours, I'm going to watch this guy sleep.
All right, next question. What is something that you have not done yet in your life that you wish to do or accomplish before you die?
I'm going to jump out of a plane before I die at some point. I want to go parachuting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. How about you?
I want to travel through Europe for a year, or live in Europe for a year, particularly in like the Alps, like the French Alps, Swiss Alps, Italian Alps, somewhere in there. And in a perfect world, I'd bounce around like every 3 months to like a different little town in the Alps. When I see videos on it, there's so I'm not into ultra running. I don't ultra run. Ultra run is defined by any runs over a marathon in length, I believe. Yes, I'm not in the ultra community, but I think that's how it's defined. And one of the most famous, I don't know if it's the most famous, but ultra race is called the UTMB, and that goes through the French, Italian, and Swiss Alps, I believe. And I watch a lot of videos of this particular race, and it is just stunningly gorgeous. And these tiny little towns up in the mountains and stuff, it's just like it really woos me. So yeah, I want to live over there. I'm
going to check out the UTMB now.
It's not as high on my list, but I think it would be really cool to learn another language. And I know enough about myself that no matter how many classes I take, whatever coursework I take, I'm never going to get there. I just have to leave here and live in a place that speaks the language I'm trying to learn and just immerse myself. Yep.
Yeah. So interesting. Nice. Good answer. It's way better than jump out of a plane, but whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this one I thought was really interesting. If you had 48 hours left on Earth, would you tell anybody? If so, who would you tell? And what would you do with the time? I think that's
if you had 48 hours left, would you tell? Who would you tell if you were? And what would you do with it?
Yeah.
It's a 3-parter. You go ahead.
I'm struggling to have like an absolute like concrete answer for this, but I think I wouldn't tell a lot of people. I think I'd probably tell maybe the closest people to me, and I'd probably come down here into the studio and I would film a video that's just expressing my thoughts, perspectives, and mostly, if you have the over under, my gratitude for the things in my life. And I would just record, I don't know, maybe a half-hour video, just kind of just sharing my thoughts and my gratitude for what's transpired in my life. I gotta think there'd be a lot of eating of all my favorite foods. And then I would probably go to a couple of the most important places in my life, all within 3 hours driving distance from here.
Wow.
So I see like Jen and I and LJ hopping in a car. I feel like the more people you tell, it would become like a sob thing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it to be that.
Pity party.
Yeah. And I would just house a video. I'd send it to someone like you and just say, yo, when I'm gone, share this with the world.
Something's up with Peter. He's eating he's eating cheese out of a can. I don't know what's happening. Something's wrong.
A lot of red meat, a lot of seafood. Yeah.
Is that you don't eat red meat now?
My rule of red meat is I eat it if someone else is paying.
Really?
Yeah. I don't eat a ton of red meat. But I do love it. Love it. Yeah.
What's your favorite seafood?
All New England seafood. You give me lobsters, give me crabs, give me mussels, give me steamers, give me
shellfish,
chowder, give me all of it. Any New England seafood I love.
Interesting. Okay. If I had 48 hours, no is the first answer. I would not tell anybody. And what would I do with it? I don't know. I think it's hard to say. Like that news would come. The clock's already ticking, so it's like, oh, what would I do? I think. I don't really know, because it's like, do you do selfish things or you do things with people and then, like leave it hanging like, oh, I guess that's why you did that.
I just think that type of question is so hard to anticipate, like how you would really feel or act. It's
I don't think you
if
can.
You won the Powerball, we all can say what we do or act. If we won the Powerball, what would we really do? Same kind of thing with this question.
Yeah, I'd like to think that it's so funny because I've been having this thought randomly go through my head, like, I've watched a couple people die of cancer, and I think, or other functions where there's a magic pill, or for get your wallet out, and for a ridiculous amount of money, you can go pay these pharmaceutical companies to try to make you better, and it may or may not work. So I don't want to seem crass, but I always wonder myself, like if you were diagnosed with some kind of incurable disease, or I like not incurable, I guess at that point, but some kind of heavy disease, would you take the chemotherapy? Would you not? And I tend to think I wouldn't, just because, like, I mean, if that's the way you're going to go, like that's how it's going to go. Plus all the turmoil that comes through going through like chemotherapy, that's pretty rough. Right. But yeah, I don't think that, I don't think there's any way to anticipate it. And back to the lottery thing, it's a lot of people say, and I've heard this of like MC Hammer and a bunch of people, like, just because you have a whole bunch of money doesn't mean it actually changes who you are. It's just a tool to allow you to act in a different way. So I think that, I think it's almost nearly impossible to know the answer to that question.
Yeah. I do know that I eat a lot of food, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
What is a skill that you wish you could snap your fingers and possess in a proficient manner right now?
I would like to be a pilot, like a really good pilot. I think that would be cool if you could just snap it and let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My proud dad moment. Sometimes before I come down here and record with you, I'll just kind of mull over what the topic is with Jen to kind of get her perspectives and stuff.
Oh, really?
LJ often hears us talking. And LJ's answer to this question was, I wish that I had the skill to know exactly how everybody was feeling all the time. Whoa. So that if people were sad and I didn't know, I could help them. That was like I wanted to melt when I heard her saying that.
Look at that. Nice work, LJ.
I think that would be pretty stressful to know how everyone's feeling all the time. Yeah.
That reminds me of Bruce Almighty when he starts getting all the emails.
I have not seen that movie.
Oh, what? Oh, you got to watch
Jim Carrey movie, right?
Yeah, put that on your YouTube.
Okay.
put Bruce Almighty emails. You'll see.
So I send multiple emails every day. I have an undergraduate degree, a graduate degree where I typed an 89-page paper, and I am still a one-finger typer. Todd's doing just like poking. I'm a hunt and peck. I am the slowest typer ever. And I wish that I could type. Of all the worthless classes I took in high school, if I had just taken typing, I'd be so much more efficient with my time. Because I'm hunt and peck, I have to look at the keyboard while I'm typing, so I can't look at the screen. So after I type anything, I have to go back and read it. I can't read it while I'm doing it. So that would be mine. I wish that I had just had better typing skills. And then people say, "Oh, why don't you start taking classes?" And I like courses, and I tried that, and it was just mind-numbing. And I quit on it. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Electric toothbrush or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. For me too. My dentist said it's more efficient. I'm going to believe that.
I don't know. You got to be careful because I've read, I don't know which one you have. Do you have the round one or the Sonicare?
Sonicare.
I've heard the Sonicare, if you lay it at more than a specific degree angle at your gum line, it'll erode your gums. And my gums are pretty bad, and I've had that thing for a long time. I went to a different dentist, and they said, no, only straight on your teeth, like at a 90 degree on the lower teeth. So beware.
See, listeners, you get all this great information.
I don't know if there's any truth to it, but
listen to this show.
Yeah.
And I lumped this one together because it also had to do with toothbrushing. Do you do anything while you're brushing your teeth regularly?
I mean, there's a lot of toothbrushing going on. I'd sit down when I brush my teeth, and I try to brush the right side of my mouth with my left hand, and then I switch to the other to get both. Both sides of the brain working.
You use both hands to brush your teeth?
Yeah.
I never knew that about you.
Yeah, on opposing sides.
Yeah. Now I had a friend ask about this because he was saying that like he wanted to be more efficient with his life, so he now sits in a deep squat, like a stretching position when he brushes his teeth.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I do that, and I said no, and he was shocked. He's like, "Wow, you're not maximizing your time." I was like, so I look at nature. I either go outside or I look out the window while I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And there's not like a window in my bathroom that I can look outside with. It's like in the shower, so it doesn't work as well. So I need to kind of go into a different room to look outside.
Nice. But do you still keep your toothbrush in your bathroom?
Yes.
So you travel. You're a traveling brusher.
I am. Yes.
Nice. Good job.
All right. Which past episode or episodes of this show sticks out in your mind for whatever reason?
Oh, clearly the Caitlin in the closet. That one gets me every time.
Oh yeah, your daughter.
Where'd y'all go? That's the name of it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mine was the one with Heather Pogue when she called me out on being nonsensical about creating a goal and sticking with it for no reason other than to stick with it, and it didn't serve me when I was talking about not listening to music or any radio or anything on the way to school for 185 days.
Yep.
And she called me out on that, and it made me think pretty hard about what serves me. And I'm grateful for her.
Can I get a recap? Like she just said, you said that's what I'm doing, and she said, why would? Oh, that's right. I remember. She said, why would you do that if it doesn't serve you? I recall that.
Yes, she said, yep. And so that's thank you, Heather. That's one of my more memorable moments when recording this podcast. That
you hated
that was just a great episode.
You hated not having any audio in your car. And if I had a nickel for every time you said, I only got 12 days left or whatever it was.
Todd,
that crushed you.
I hated it. Hated it.
That's a strong word, Pete. It's strong.
Well, I was telling that story today because I had a student who made an unsafe choice with her cell phone at school, and she is on cell phone suspension for a couple of weeks.
Oh.
And I was talking about how when we take things away and then give it, and when we get them back eventually, we appreciate them so much more. Anyone who's gone on like a 7-day hike without a shower could attest to that, right? And I was just saying that after a year of not listening to anything in the car, when I get in the car and can turn something on, I'm so grateful. I love it. My level of appreciation every morning now is still so high. So
So you did get something out of it. That's good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Good. All right. What simple tasks do you find yourself putting off that are small but eventually pile up?
You go.
So speaking of my financial goals and the budget and all that, I account for every penny we spend every month. And at the end of the month, I sit down and just kind of mull it all over, and everything goes in different categories. And it takes me about 2 hours to do the monthly budget. And if I put that off, it just builds and builds. So, so I go over all the statements and the credit cards and just making sure everything's kind of up to snuff. And we have a budget for different categories: a budget for gas every month, a budget for food every month, a budget for LJ every month, a budget for entertainment every month, and just to make sure that everything's kind of falling in its right buckets. But to sit down and do it, and if I ever backs up to like 2 months, like to sit down and do that for 4 hours is just not something
but you will go back and complete it for each month. We've never missed. I've never missed. Yeah.
So I'll do that.
So you don't know. You just know that if you did, you'd be in a bad place.
No, but sometimes like I'll start to get backed up, and then it's like I'll do it, and then like I have to do it a couple days later. Or if I just
because you're close to the end. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that would be mine.
Simple tasks. I don't know. I'm doing pretty good on my simple tasks. Like I don't know. My procrastination fluctuates, but that's just something that comes and goes. But I don't usually let them pile up too high. It used to be my income tax, but now that I don't own a bunch of businesses, that's not that bad. Last year I got it done pretty much on time. I'm still working diligently, but I'm making forward progress on the garbage, so that's fantastic. So I send pictures of the garbage cans every once in a while. Yeah, I don't know.
A while back, a number of episodes ago, Todd was talking about how he wanted to be a better partner for his wife and be more diligent about bringing the garbage out on days that it's supposed to go out. And oftentimes now he'll just send me a picture of an empty trash can or a full trash can on the side of the road in his neighborhood, and I know what that means.
Yep.
That's great.
It's a good accountability tool. But I can't think of any other ones that are just typically simple that, don't know.
My other one would be weed whacking. We just own a bit of property, and there's certain areas that I prefer to have it just weed whack so it doesn't overgrow over the course of the summer. And just keeping up with that all summer is tricky, but I'm blessed to have this property, so it's not
nice work.
No biggie. All right. This was Jen's question. What is one opportunity that you regret not taking advantage of when you were younger?
I don't know. You go. If you got one.
My good friend growing up was taking piano lessons, and my mom said, I'll pay for your piano lessons as long as you want to go. And I promise you that if you don't take them at some point in your life, you're going to regret it. And I knew that my whole life, so I would never admit that, even until like my 20s and 30s. I was like, I knew my mom was right. I should have taken the piano lessons. I wish that I could play the piano now. And I can still take lessons if I want, obviously. But that was an opportunity that was presented to me that I wish I'd taken advantage of. And the other one I'd say is just when I was in my 20s and a ski bum, I did 5 winters here in Vermont as a snowboard instructor, and I wish at least one of those I did out west, maybe in Colorado or Utah or Wyoming or something.
Interesting. I can't think of any. I mean, obviously there must have been some opportunities when I was younger, but I can't think of any that I was like, nah, I don't think so. Cool. Why? I'm so curious about the piano. So now you just, when there's a piano around, you're like, damn it, I wish I could play that piano.
No, I don't beat myself up about it at all.
Oh, it's
And it's
interesting.
really neat to see my daughter playing. It's just like, I think it would be really cool to like see a piano and just sit down and be able to
Yeah,
play. I
that
also
would be
really like the sound of it. Like if I'm going to relax, I'll put on like piano music. It's just, that's my favorite instrument to listen to. So I
Huh.
think it's just something that
That's awesome.
I wish that I could do.
Yeah. But LJ hated it until recently, right?
She's coming along. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
She's coming
Good.
along.
Took her a
Yeah.
while, though. Years.
Yes.
I wonder if she'll have the
Yes.
same idea.
Yes. All right. One more. If you could go back in time and pick up any new hobby, what would you do? That's kind of similar to the other opportunity question, I guess, in a way, but maybe not.
It is similar. Yeah. I too, like, I wish that I could just pick up a guitar and just like, if you know some people that can pick up an acoustic guitar and just wail on that thing, it's pretty sweet. Same with drums, any music really of something that you enjoy. That would be cool if you could go back and do it again. But I mean, you could always do it now. It's just like you said, is interest there, but it's interesting.
For me, from a very pragmatic standpoint, I just didn't learn a lot when I was younger about how to fix stuff. So like, I don't know how to fix anything with a car. I don't know how to fix anything with an appliance. I'm not good with carpentry, like real basic stuff, but really not like confident with any of that. So I'd say just being able to fix, repair, and build stuff with my hands would be my pragmatic one. But my absolutely non-pragmatic one was, I think it would be a really cool hobby to be a magician. Just be able to like rip out card tricks or like be able to do stuff in places that just like
bust a rabbit out of your hat.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, what does that say about me? Like I'm so extrinsically motivated. Like if I could pick any hobby, I'd pick one that impresses people. Like what does that say about me?
Look at this. I'm pretty handy with my hand. I'm thankful that I learned that from my grandparents. One thing that would be cool though, my grandpa, my mom's dad, was really good at, and I think it's because he was ridiculously patient. He was really good at stained glass. He made stained glass windows like at scale. And I always thought to myself, watching him break the glass like into this perfect little, shard, I thought. And then you got to solder all the lead together. It was just like, I couldn't admit the painstaking amount of time he spent on that. But when they turned out, they were works of majesty. They were pretty sweet. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of along with the magic thing a little bit. I think it'd be really cool to be able to be like a crazy proficient juggler. Like you could juggle a bowling ball, a chainsaw, and an apple. Like something like that would be really cool.
He's eating cheese and juggling chainsaws. Something is going on with you.
Listener questions, some deep, some just across the board. A good time to kind of dig into some thoughts and perspectives for sure.
I like the rapid fire questions. Those are fun.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to be interacting with our listeners in many different ways. So
yeah, for sure.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of which, to all the listeners out there, schoolandstruggle@gmail.com is the way to reach out to us, interact with us, and ask more questions for, what is this, episode 72? So episode 144, we'll do our next one.
Is that what we're doing? Okay.
I don't know. Right. I was just doubling it.
Hopefully it doesn't take that long to get some listener emails, but maybe.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for your ears. We appreciate your time. We are incredibly grateful for your attention. We are the School and Struggle Podcast. We are out.
See ya.